all Asian markets are in the red.
Prime Minister lands in New York 20th of June for a 4-day visit of the US.
So we start to build a rebuild, if you wish, financially.
Aberdeen is selling its entire 10.2% stake via block deal today.
If it comes for rebidding, obviously we would be bidding in this tender again.
The first tick on the index is flat, very, very quiet.
The Nifty is pretty much struggling below the 18,700 handle.
As we know, Indigo has just signed the largest deal in the aviation history, where Indigo will buy 500 A320 planes from Airbus.
Of domestic mutual funds, and leading long-only fund was a buyer in today's block deal.
Mid-caps doing really well, so those are the ones which are outperforming the benchmarks with gains of around 54 points.
Well, that was the day so far. You're with us here in the last hour of trade this Tuesday afternoon. We are coming to you live from the CNBC-TV18 Motero Oswal studios. I'm Prashant. With me, my colleague Surabhi here in the newsroom, in the studio. Mangalam is joining us from the newsroom floor as always. Guys, hi, good afternoon. Slow and steady, and as we start this edition of 2:30, you've got the market which has now come back into the green, and this is the greenest the Nifty has looked since the start. But slow and steady recovery from early on. I mean, that's been the theme. Not really going anywhere though on the upside. Maybe that will change as we get into the last 60 and then 30 minutes of trade. I was mentioning last Thursday's low as being important as some sort of a pivot. And guess what? Today's low and last Thursday's low are just 5 or 6 points apart. So today's low is what, 18,660? And last Thursday's low was 18,669. So, that 10.8, basically about 670 or so should be, or 660 or so should be the level which the market should defend on the way down if we've got to keep our head above water. Nifty Bank is slightly above the 40-day exponential moving average, the day's low that was breached, but not right now. Let's watch that to be held on a closing basis. That number stands at 43,456, and mid-cap and small-cap indices are doing just fine. I mean, there is enthusiasm. Yesterday, some of the air got deflated out of the rally intraday from being up 1%. Those indices closed flat, but they're back up. Mid-cap index is up 3/4, and the small-cap index is doing even better. Lots of action, lots of ideas, lots of stocks which are jumping 10, 15, 20%. And we'll talk about many of them over the next 60 minutes. Surabhi.
Hi, Prashant. Yeah, it's a remarkable comeback, right? From the lows that we were seeing in the morning, 10:30, we hit that low of, I think, 18,660 thereabouts. Yeah. And since then, it's been a very steady ride up. However, I must point out that the global setup is still not very good. If you're looking at Wall Street futures, there's a pretty sharp crackdown, at least right now on the S&P 500 and the Dow. Let's see how this plays out. About 0.5% lower on Wall Street futures. European markets are still lower. CAC and DAX are down between 0.4% and 0.5%, depending on which picture you're looking at or which index you're looking at. But against that backdrop, yeah, these are the declines that I'm talking about. But against that backdrop, our recovery is absolutely remarkable. So on the large cap screens, I think autos have been the clear winner. Autos have come back after a couple of days of sitting out of the action after some profit taking. Today, they are the names that are right on top. So Tata Motors, Bajaj Auto, a couple of others, Eicher Motors as well, between 1% to 2.5%, depending on which auto stock you're looking at. And then there has been steady buying in technology, which is interesting. Even yesterday, we had a little bit of a glimpse of that when TCS had turned positive as well. And that continues today. So you are looking at stocks like Tech Mahindra, Wipro, Infosys, even TCS for that matter. I mean, all of your large cap technology names are providing some comfort and support to the market. So technology is looking good. And then there's life insurance. There is absolutely no stopping the life insurers, HDFC, SBI. They are up and about. On the broader side of the market, I'll just take some names before tossing it to Mangalam. There's definitely momentum that's back. Look at Ramakrishna Forgings, 6%, Central Bank of India, UCO Bank. These PSU banks are really looking quite smart. But Mangalam, I guess one would have to say that from the morning lull that we had and this nervousness that we had from that point onwards, this has been very, very smart from the bulls.
It's been extremely smart. In fact, that exactly was, the expectation this morning as well, with the SGX Nifty indicating a dip. Dips in our market have been bought, and that's better than, chasing rallies. And that's what we saw today as well. That 18,650 to 18,700 mark has been an important support zone. The supports on Nifty have been moving higher. And after testing very close to record highs yesterday, we saw some bit of profit taking. Today as well, there was a dip. It was the perfect opportunities for bulls to go ahead and put in a strong showing, and that's what they have shown. In fact, the Nifty is now up 20 odd points, and a large part of that recovery was also led by, the kind of moderation that we saw in excesses after yesterday. Yesterday, the put-call ratio was at 1.29. This morning, we went into trade with the put-call ratio being closer to 0.89. So as a result of which, there was some moderation, and that gave some more ammunition for fresh long build-up. The other thing that happened was the mid-cap index, which has already been outperforming. Because the Nifty found some support, we saw more gusto in the mid-cap index. So the mid-cap index has now moved to the high point of trade as well, and perilously close to a record high on that index after hitting a fresh record high yesterday as well. Now, the last hour, the business end of today's trading session, we will track two things. One is the Nifty Bank, which had been underperforming, and now that too has recovered from the lows as we speak, has moved into the green. And the second thing that we'll be watching out for is the Nifty Financial Services Index. Why is that? Because it is a Tuesday, it is the Financial Services Index expiry, and in that, the Nifty Financial Services Index is between 19,350 and 19,450. So it's right in the middle of the positions that both call writers and put writers have taken. Put writers believe that 19,350 is the level that will hold on, and call writers believe that 19,450 plus levels, where the Nifty Financial Services right now may face some resistance. So if we continue to hold above these levels, maybe some shorts will cover their positions and we'll see a sharper rally in the last hour or so. But suffice to say, it's been a smart recovery. The question is, when do we go to a record high, not if once again.
Okay, Mangalam, we'll not talk about record highs, and then it'll come.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. The moment we put that countdown and that timer up, right?
We'll do a, what do you call, reverse jinx. So, all right, well, how should you position yourself in the last hour of trade? That's the question, and let's put that to our guest who's joining us. Mitesh is with us. Mitesh, hi, afternoon. 15, 16 points on the Nifty, off the lows quite a bit, as we've been pointing out. But what from here? Is there a trade on the index or stay away and stick with stocks?
Prashant, a couple of things. I think, we talked about 18,660, 650 as the breakdown zone. We kind of made a low over there, I think, which you were also highlighting at the beginning of the show, and managed to bounce back. Now, my idea is that given the fact that the indicator setup is in the weak side, in case we break 18,650, we'll see a correction. In case we don't, the market will just chop around between 18,650 and 18,850. Before I think either the indicators cool off from overbought levels, come down and give you a signal of upside move, or I think, with that choppiness, we'll come back again and retest 18,650. Maybe this time we'll try to break it. So in that sense, not very positive on the index in the short term. And you're talking about, making a reverse statement. I've been doing that the last 2 days. The market has been choppy, but no signs of a new high, fresh high. The key here, I think, is the Bank Nifty, which is still, underperforming. So till that thing comes into picture again, or Bank Nifty starts lending support to the Nifty again, I think thinking of fresh highs may not happen immediately. So hold the horses over there. On the stock side, I have a negative call on AU Bank. So that's a stock which has done very well. The long-term charts are very good, but in the short term, the stock seems like could give a pullback. So recommend a sell here. Keep a stop at about levels of 775, 775 half, and look for a target of around 745 to begin with. While on the buying side, I have Balkrishna Industries with the stop at 24.10 for targets of 25.30.
All right, Mitesh, that's about individual stocks. Just keep an eye out on HDFC Life. Every time, same time out here, we speak about HDFC Life moving to the high point of trade. It opens well, sees some more buying, and this has been happening for the last 3 trading sessions. In fact, in the last 3 trading sessions itself, HDFC Life has gained almost 10%, a fresh 52-week high on HDFC Life once again. Though I'll be also watching out for what LIC as a stock does from here on, because this morning there was a news that came by where the company is now increasing its communication with a whole swathe of investors, and some of them include the FIIs as well. So the life insurance space doing well, and LIC something we'll have to watch out for even as HDFC Life continues to surge. But that's not the only HDFC which is surging today. In fact, HDFC AMC has been the stock of all day today. In fact, it's almost a large trade, 2.2 crore shares changing hands. Nimesh joins us here. Nimesh, we'll come to you about a lot more things as well all through the course of this show right now. But for HDFC AMC, now that the trade has happened, what are the big triggers?
So Mangalam, as you rightly pointed out, it's a stock of the day, and I guess it's a deal of the day as well.
Yep.
4,100 crore block got done. That too, in the pre-open without any large discount as well. So the deal is Aberdeen Asset Management has sold out its entire 10.2% stake in HDFC AMC today in a block deal. In terms of buyers, I believe a couple of domestic mutual funds were the buyers, and one long-only fund was a buyer in today's block. So maybe the disclosures will come post-markets today, so that's something to track. But the triggers for the stock, the fact that the stock is up 10% because it's a clean-out trade from Aberdeen Asset Management. Two, because the deal happened at just 1% discount versus the expectation of a 5% discount. But the big triggers to watch for HDFC AMC going forward is one, because Aberdeen was classified as a promoter entity. Now that the promoters have sold, the free float is going to go up, which means that both FTSE and MSCI will do the rejig. Now I'm expecting FTSE to start first. So early next week, you will see a bit of a weight increase in HDFC AMC from FTSE, which can lead to an inflow of close to